What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 15th installment of Wrestling Hypothesis Extra, the secondary show of the Wrestling Hypothesis podcast proper for your Wednesday, November 18th, 2020. Hope everyone listening is doing well as always. I'm the ABA, and joining me for Extra this week is King Kenny.
I'm finally first on the introductory list. I mean, come on, this is what I've been waiting for. The respect. Finally, they respect me enough.
That, or I just figured I'd throw you a bone this week.
This is a great moment. No, you figured that I got a lot to say. I got a lot of great material to say. That's why you introduced me first. And that's always the way it should be.
Either way. And Ricardo.
What's up, y'all?
Also on the show with us this week. Before anything else, guys, you know what to do. If this is like, there's no need for me to mention this anymore. You guys have to make sure you hit that subscribe button down below if you're watching this on YouTube, that is, so you don't miss out on the series whenever we decide to drop sometime throughout the week for your viewing pleasure. And I mentioned what I said earlier about if you're watching this on YouTube, because the plan is right now we are planning to release this particular episode out to all of our platforms that the show is available on, so you guys can check us out, and what we do here on Extra almost every week, if you guys have never checked us out before, that is. So we're doing that. If you haven't already, you could check out episode 44 from this past week, where we gave our thoughts on Zelina Vega being let go from WWE for failing to comply with their new policy, WWE's that is, of prohibiting their talent from engaging in third-party accounts, as well as our own ideas on how their wrestlers should unionize against WWE, and how would Vega fare in AEW, and what is her ideal role in a wrestling capacity between being a wrestler and a manager. So that is available in the archives using any of the platforms we're available on, as well as visiting our own website, anchor.fm/wrestling-hypothesis. Let's get into it with the news this week, guys. Starting off with, on the AEW side of things, Jon Moxley against Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship has been officially announced for the December 2nd edition of Dynamite. As we know, the next AEW World title program is going to be Jon Moxley against Kenny Omega, who got the title opportunity after beating Adam Hangman Page at Full Gear in a great opening match for the show. This is a continuation of last year's rivalry towards the tail end of 2019, where the beef then culminated at Full Gear last year in their Lights Out match, and Jon Moxley won that feud at the time. They are scheduled to have their contract signing for Dynamite later tonight, as a matter of fact, making the match official to get underway in a few weeks. So, yeah, I like where they're going with this, even though we haven't seen too much of this incarnation of the feud and this build. But other than the fact that Moxley is now the face and Omega is more so the heel in this feud, unlike their version of the feud last year when they went at it. So it'll be very interesting to see how the match unfolds on December 2nd in a few weeks on Dynamite, especially now that Adam Hangman Page is looming in the background for sure. Like, because we know he's not going to be kicked to the curb out of this whole thing. I'm sure he'll be involved in some aspect of this feud.
See, I think a lot of people are very quick, and we spoke about this, I think, last week. Should Jon Moxley lose to Kenny Omega? And I think a lot of people get rubbed the wrong way when we discuss that, because I mean, guys, it's Jon Moxley. This ain't some guy that you got off the street. This ain't, like AEW was just starting out, and then they got Moxley, and everybody knew that they were serious. So he put these motherfuckers on the map. Now, look, from a business standpoint, do you want the titles to switch hands right now? Yes. However, does it make sense for you to give away a free title match? Not only that, right? But switch titles at a Dynamite show like this with 2 weeks of build. We have been anticipating this match for ever since that tournament came out. right, to crown the new number one contender. We have been anticipating this match because we knew that Kenny Omega was going to run the field. He was going to run the gauntlet and challenge Jon Moxley. We already knew that coming in. That was a little bit over maybe about a month ago, right? I'm not very good with timelines, but
no, you were kind of right. No, you're right there with the
yeah,
timeline.
right. So that was a little bit like about a month ago. So we knew that he was going to run the gauntlet then. So, and when he did, the idea was, okay, well, this is it. The only man that we want Jon Moxley to lose to is Kenny Omega, because we know how great Kenny Omega can be. And now all of a sudden, you're Tony Khan. You sit there and you say, "Oh, well, you know what? We're gonna do this show on a Dynamite with 2 weeks. It's in 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So you're telling me that the guy that you brought in to build your heavyweight division around is losing anticlimactically in a Dynamite show 2 weeks from today? No, come on. You can't do that to Jon Moxley. That's your investment right there. You have to protect them. Hence where Adam Hangman Page comes in, right? He's got unfinished business. And a lot of people are thinking about this all wrong. Like, oh, what? KO has to win now. Kenny Omega has to win. No, he doesn't. The man still has unfinished business. Everybody knows in this industry, right? If you're gunning for the crown, you better not have unfinished business, or that shit is gonna come back to haunt you. It's happened to Stone Cold. It's happened to The Rock. It's happened to many, many, many other guys. Okay, it's happened to Ric Flair, Cena, you name it. The greatest champions this industry has ever seen. It's happened to all of them, where they're fighting for a title. Whoever they got beef with, comes in and interferes because they have unfinished business or whatever the case may be. That's classic wrestling storytelling. And it applies here. It applies here. That's the only reason why you wouldn't give Kenny Omega the title. So from that standpoint, it does make sense. If they go for it, it does make sense. But I think it's out of the question. You don't crown Kenny Omega on an AEW Dynamite show where people may or may not tune in.
Yeah, you made valid good points. I'm gonna go a different route though, but it's gonna be in the same ballpark. I do agree with Kenny, especially about Hangman Page, because the way, if you look back at that last tournament match between Kenny Omega and Hangman Page, you could tell it's not finished. Despite Kenny Omega won, you could tell it's not finished yet, based on how he conducted himself throughout the match and after the match, right? And due to the fact that the match is in 2 weeks, which is technically only 2 days, Wednesdays obviously back to back, in a matter of 2 weeks, you have little to nothing to build around this specific title match. Yes, it's different from last year, right? But this title match seems rushed. This title match seems predictable. This title match is pretty much AEW saying, like, let's just get this over with so we could end the year right. No.
Could be to pop a rating too.
Exactly. I agree with that. To pop a rating. Now, in my honest opinion, right? Wait, before I get into my opinion, I think the question should be this. I think the question should be, even though it's in 2 weeks, should we still get excited about this title match? Because my answer to that is no. Due to the fact that it's 2 weeks away, there's little to no build on this match. Yes, they got history in terms of born rivals, in terms of Omega and Moxley, but due to the fact that it's in 2 weeks, it got little to nothing to build on this match. We all expect it to be on All Out, correct? You expected that, Kenny, to be on All Out, right? That is where the pay-per-view should be at.
But that's the thing. It doesn't make sense. Like, the
No, I
timeline
agree.
doesn't fit. If it's on All Out, that's like fucking 4 or 5 months from now. Like that's
Okay.
a long time.
No, I think
Revolution
we're
is the
getting. I think
next
we're getting the.
pay-per-view,
I think we're getting the pay-per-views all messed
right?
up.
Right.
Revolution's
So,
next
so
pay-per-view.
Revolution is next. Revolution. So
Okay.
we expected it to be on Revolution.
Okay.
I expected it to be Revolution
Right.
because
All
it
right.
kicks
So
off the year right.
right. So so the correct location should be at Revolution, not
Yes.
2 weeks off Dynamite. Right. So due to the fact it's 2 weeks off Dynamite, that's just an anticlimactic turn on how to make Kenny Omega champion. And to be honest with you, when that match happens in 2 weeks, I don't think we're gonna get a definitive match due to the fact that Kenny Omega still got beef with Hangman Page. Hangman Page, one way or another, will interfere in that match. You could book that.
Well. He beat Hangman Page.
No,
Okay.
I understand that. I
He beat
understand that.
Hangman Page. So
Yeah.
there's nothing to see there. Like I don't want to. I'm not interested in seeing a one-on-one match. See, here's the thing.
I'm saying that Hangman Page might interfere. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I mean, we already anticipate that. Like, listen, and if Hangman Page interferes, he'll be the heel in this match. He'll come off as the asshole that interfered in Kenny Omega's business because he couldn't take the fact that he took the L the first time.
Right.
So he'd be the heel.
If he did the story, if AEW told the story during their Omega and Hangman's match at Full Gear a few weeks back, and that Omega cheated to win, this would have made more sense for Page to interfere in this match and to cost Omega the title. But the fact that we didn't get that, and instead we got a clean, definitive win on Hangman on Omega's part, then it makes little to no sense to do it.
Yes, exactly.
Like what way would they take this storyline? That Hangman is a sore loser?
Right. Exactly. And
you're probably trying to get him to be the one rooted for, not necessarily on Omega.
Right. Because Hangman Page is easy to root for, right? Like he has that personality that, like Kenny Omega just comes off as the modern day. I don't want to say it, but comes off as the modern day John Cena. He does, because everyone. I mean, he can do everything, right? What can't he do, right? So you have a guy like that. You have a guy that has everything in Kenny Omega, and then you have a guy that that can relate to pretty much everybody. Drinks beer after his matches, he's Hangman Page. You know what I mean? So he's like the everyman. So that it kind of plays into his role, and then you have him, like a persona like that, come in and then be a sore loser, right? It doesn't make sense. But that's the thing. If you've booked yourself into the corner like this, you need to follow through, right? So if your plans was to have Kenny Omega win on Dynamite, you just got to rip it off like the Band-Aid, even though it's not exactly what we expect. You kind of just have to go with it and just rip it off, and or you have Moxley win clean.
For Kenny Omega, he will have to win pretty convincingly. Like the win what the win would be similar to? Can you remember the match between Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano? You remember that match?
Right.
It will have to be similar like that to cap off the win to make it significant. Other than that, then Kenny's right. Jon Moxley will win clean, right? But in terms of a significant win, it has to be similar to when Finn Balor did it to Johnny Gargano to prove who's better, to prove who's number one.
Right, but listen, you've done a job in where you kind of create this mystique around Moxley that it's damn near impossible to beat him. Like when was the last time Moxley took a pin? Do you guys remember? Because I sure as hell don't. Right.
I don't think honestly he's had a title pinfall loss in any case, like since becoming the champion. It must have been sometime before.
Exactly.
I don't even remember him getting a pinfall loss even when he was a champion.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm struggling to think of something.
Right. His singles career, I think he's undefeated, right?
He is. Yeah,
it's 20-0. Last time I checked.
Take your standards.
So I'm sorry, man, but I mean, if you're gonna have a guy like that lose, to have it come on a Dynamite show, man, that is just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, but maybe I'm just looking too much into it. Maybe they will have um maybe they will have Jon Moxley retain. I mean, I'm sorry, lose clean to Kenny Omega, but damn, that's what you have for me. You know what I mean? Like that's it.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
yeah,
That's it.
we're pretty much just honestly pretty much disappointed in AEW because due to the lack of things that's going down in their brand, due to the fact that it's so rushed, and
Again,
we don't get a lasting story.
yo, again, like this isn't like even if it's rushed, right? Listen, they might pull this off.
Okay.
Okay. They haven't done anything to prove that they're gonna fuck this up. Okay.
Right.
So let's
Yeah.
just put that out there. Okay. They might actually pull this off. However, that's gonna be a tall order. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it's hard for
Really
any
tough.
of us. Like, it's hard for any of us to envision them pulling something like this off
Right.
because we know because there's a predictable route and it's predictable, sure, but it works. And that
Yes.
is
Right.
hold off on this title match, not on a Dynamite episode randomly too, but on a freaking main event of a pay-per-view
Yep.
that you want people to tune in and pay $50 for.
Yeah.
So
I'd rather have 8 weeks of build, right? Knowing that, okay, this match, like there are ways you can do this. Okay.
hell
There
yeah.
are ways that you can do this. Even, you know, having Moxley defend his title against, I don't know, somebody else.
Exactly. Like have both of them be stuck in mini feuds, like
Right.
just to keep themselves
Exactly.
busy. Because I heard something like
Exactly.
Brian Cage is #1 in the rankings for world championship. So for all
Right.
we know, they could have just done Moxley and Cage again.
Right. Exactly. In 2 weeks, and no one would have cared. Right? No one would have cared because everyone would have think, well, Jon Moxley's gonna win anyway. You know.
Exactly.
So we don't mind seeing that on Dynamite if it means that, you know, it prolongs the feud, the inevitable clash between Moxley and Kenny Omega. You know, that would have been a better way to go about doing it. But damn, man, 2 weeks, man, I don't give a shit about a feud you build in 2 weeks. So for me, it's a no. It's a no. I know it's not American Idol, but it's a no for me.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't. But at the same time, though, I wouldn't necessarily rule them out entirely. Because for all we know, AEW, like you said, Kenny, earlier, that it's not likely that they would mess something like this up. It's just
Right.
going to be a tall order.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see
We'll
how
what
the
happens.
execution. Yeah, exactly. We'll see how the execution goes. Moving right along here, guys. So let's talk about this. As you guys know, Drew McIntyre reclaimed the WWE Championship from Randy Orton on Monday Night Raw just a few days ago, earlier this week. His second WWE title reign just days before Survivor Series, where we initially were getting Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, against the then WWE Champion, Randy Orton. Obviously, that has now been changed due to this recent title change on Raw. Now it is Reigns against Drew McIntyre, which honestly is a more appealing and an interesting match to me. Now, I know these comments were made some time ago, but we weren't really able to discuss it and give our thoughts on it at the time. But Triple H revealed in an interview that he believes that Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns and their impending rivalry has 100% the potential to be the next Rock versus Austin. So now, I mean, what other route do I go from here after introducing that subject than to ask you guys, what do
I
we
want to
feel
hear,
about those comments?
Kenny. I'm intrigued in what you have to say.
Of course you're intrigued. Of course you're
Yes, I
intrigued.
am. Yes.
Listen.
I'm intrigued too. Let's hear it.
I will not interrupt you.
It's time to go to school, Ricardo. Take out your notebook, your pen, you know, yeah, and clean out your ears and listen very well, okay? Because what I'm about to give you is gold, okay? Fucking gold. When he said Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns their feud is the has the potential to rival the feud of Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. And I'll use the perfect example, the one that you can understand, Ricardo, this past Friday Night SmackDown, where Roman Reigns came out. I don't know if you guys saw that promo, but I think we all saw it on Monday. No, not on Monday, but on Saturday when we did the recording.
Yeah.
No, I saw it on Friday.
I
saw it on Friday, but yeah.
Right. When the hell was the last time anyone spoke like that before? Cena never spoke like that before, right? Cena was always humbled and things like that. He never spoke like that before. I mean, Cena had
the last person that spoke like that was CM Punk.
Right.
CM Punk was the last person.
Hold up. But even CM Punk knew, right? Like there was something different about what CM Punk said, right? CM Punk broke walls, right? Like CM Punk went outside the box. He just went for your head. And I get it. But this is different. This was different. This was different in a way that we have never seen before. We have never, think about it. Mm-hmm. You call out the Ace on Monday Night Raw and said that his show sucked because and the only reason why it sucked is because they're not watching you, they're watching me on Friday nights. I'm the Ace of Friday Night SmackDown. I'm the guy in the company. You're nothing. You're just a carbon copy of whoever you want to say, right? But I'm the real deal. When was the last time we have ever seen, even in an exchange with The Rock and Stone Cold, we never got that. We never got that. They never spoke like that to each other. They ragged on each other, but they never spoke. Yo, listen, ratings, pound for pound, I'm better than you. There's people are watching me more than they're watching you. It's not even close. You're not missing much on I Watch Monday Night Raw. There's a different type of atmosphere that this feud creates, right? So when Triple H said it had the potential to be like Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock's feud, what he's essentially saying is that the attention, right? The attention to detail that this deserves can possibly rival that. Now, I don't think they're in this day and age, I don't think they both will surpass the fame, the individuality that Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock brought, right, to their respective brands, because it's impossible. It's literally impossible. You can't create a big star like The Rock anymore. That ain't happening. Definitely not like Stone Cold, because people, right, over the years, their attention has waned on wrestling significantly. The ratings ain't what it used to be anymore. That's not a Drew McIntyre fault. That's not a Roman Reigns fault. It's not because they're not great enough. It's because of the reality of what it is. Be that as it may, you think WWE is, has been a little, lackadaisical in their approach to keep fans, glued to the TV, right? Whatever the case is, right? It is what it is. But from an attention standpoint, hell yeah. Well, when was the last time you I'm pretty sure when you saw that reaction, you were like, whoa, what the hell is that? It made you feel something. It made you feel different. A reaction you've never had before, right? So from that standpoint, that's what Rock and Stone Cold made you feel. That feeling of, oh shit, whoa, what the hell's going on here? Why am I feeling like this? What's happening? Like, you don't understand it. You don't understand it because you haven't felt it before. You haven't, it gives you a sense of it doesn't follow any direction per se, right? So for me, from that standpoint alone, right, just the feeling of it, just the aura that interaction between the two of them had on Friday Night SmackDown validated Triple H's point exponentially. Like, did you expect in a million years that an interaction like that with Drew and Roman would happen just like that? I'm not saying that the interaction wouldn't happen, but could you have imagined an interaction like that between those two? If you said yes, you're lying.
You done?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. First, let me answer your question. No, I would not find an interaction like that. So let's get out the way. That I completely agree with you. Having said all that, in terms, you got to understand something here. When The Rock and Austin, when I say it's the greatest rivalry of all time, it's truly the greatest rivalry of all time. Now, in terms of Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, do they have equal star power to Rock and Austin? Hell no. No 2 stars to you can't find me two.
You know what? No. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's all right. You can't find 2 stars in Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre and say they're on the sequel in terms of attention and star power compared to Rock and Austin. And comparable. Completely. Now, you said the promo on Sunday validated the case of it could potentially be a Rock and in Austin between Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. Last time I checked, they had to actually be in a rivalry to actually become the next Rock and Austin. Last time I checked, they haven't even had a few matches within each other to make it a story within themselves to potentially become a Rock and Austin, right? The promo they had on Friday was fire. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not disputing against that, right? But the fact of the matter is, due to the lack of build that they have, and due to the fact that their star power has just started, literally, as Roman Reigns is the tribal chief, obviously, and Drew McIntyre is the way he is right now. They're just getting started, right? So they need to work more often for themselves in order to make it a Rock and Austin, despite that promo alone. Yes, they're about to face each other in Survivor Series, and I give you that. They're facing each other champion versus champion, right? But in terms of Rock and Austin, I need to see more from Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. You have to see more from Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns compared to between each other, right? So I can't. If there was a comparable version to Rock and Austin, it's Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley. Because last time I checked, and Abba, remember this? Last Extra, Kenny agreed with me saying that AEW has a Rock and Austin. Remember when he said that? And he agreed with me.
Well,
So
I'm pretty
what?
sure when he was getting at that,
So what?
he meant like the equivalence, the closest thing in terms of Austin and Rock,
It
but
is.
not in the sense that Reigns and McIntyre can be, and what we have seen
Reigns and
from them up to this point.
Reigns and McIntyre hasn't even scratched the surface yet in terms of building a story between these two to potentially become a Rock and Austin.
Well, let me ask you this before Kenny goes on with his point. Austin and Rock were fighting back and forth well before their first Mania match in '99, right?
Yes.
They had a series of matches for like the Intercontinental title in '97 or something. Were they telling these stories that were building to those iconic Mania matches at the time?
Yes.
No, they weren't. How do you?
What?
How do you?
I mean,
Are you serious?
I don't know
How
if
do you
people
know-
would have predicted that.
When they fought for the IC title, they weren't eventually saying, "Oh, well, we're gonna go to fight from the IC title to the to headline the rest." They didn't have that mapped out. What are you talking about?
I never said it was planned.
That's what Abba was asking, though. Did you think, right, that they both would go from fighting for the IC title, right, to main event of WrestleMania?
Well, don't get me wrong. I do think that you had your fans at the time thinking that same thing. Like, these guys are going to main event WrestleMania one day because they're the two big stars to carry the company for years to come. When they were fighting in '97, when they were lesser stars, but at the same time, like you had people
it's like
you saw it, but you didn't exactly know like the trajectory, how big it would go eventually come to. Like maybe for Austin you did because he was on the ascent.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. When The Rock and Austin was fighting for the IC title, right? Yes, they weren't as big as they were in the Attitude Era, but there were people in like Vince, JR, Paul Heyman. Once they saw The Rock and Austin, there was like something's. I'm not saying it was planned, of course, because we all agree there. But what I'm saying is that like you saw something going on with these two. That's like, yo, this is must see television.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Hold on.
Go ahead.
You don't see the same thing with Roman and Drew?
I don't see the same thing in Roman and Drew because at the time between Rock and Austin, they fought more. They fought more each other, and that brings up my point. That brings up my point in terms of these.
Right. Yeah. This last Friday night, you didn't see that.
No, Ricardo, I think what Kenny's trying to say is like this could be the real start of something. You know, like forget like just like disregard disregard everything we've seen up to this point.
Right.
Before Friday.
What they did Friday night SmackDown held nothing for you in terms of their ascension to the top.
No. Well, first of all, I clearly said that the promo was fire. I clearly said that. But all I literally said is that they need to do more. That's all I said. You can't give me one promo and not give me any match. To have a match, Survivor Series. I need to see.
Hold up. Look.
They could break to the table.
Yes. All that is fine and dandy. Okay. All right. But that promo was the start of something special. What the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you smoking? That promo didn't leave you feeling that, oh shit, well, damn, this shit is about to go hit the fan. Like this shit between these two, this is money. This is WrestleMania moments. This is everything. It didn't leave you feeling that?
No, it didn't. Honestly, no.
Oh my God.
Because
oh my God.
It didn't. It did because you know why?
Lord.
Here's why. I'm gonna explain why. Here's why.
Go ahead.
In terms of when Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns, right? Well, first of all, I don't need these two niggas to be on separate brands. And if you want to see more of that, you would have had it dead to rights if they were on the same brand.
We're probably getting a taste of that with
you would have had it
Survivor
dead to rights if they were on the same. No. But that's the thing. The fact that it is in Survivor Series, and due to the fact they might face each other only once, and they're on separate brands, you might not get that anymore.
Oh,
you would have
man.
You honestly don't
Ricardo,
think that they're gonna have one of them go to another brand?
You lose that point. You lose that point blank. Period. No, because here's the thing that you're missing. Okay, it's the power of Vince McMahon. Okay, you see that shit they had last year. When SmackDown Super, I forgot what it was. Thank God it's dead. But when SmackDown Superstars appeared on Raw, and when Raw SmackDown, right. What was it called again? Abba, do you remember?
Was it Crossroads?
The Superstar Shakeup, right? I think that's what it was called.
That was like the draft they were doing. I think it was like the wild card rule or something.
Yeah, the wild card rule.
That might have been it. That was it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't
that
remind
went over well.
Yeah.
But anyway, see, there are rules, right, that you can make. There are fucking loopholes, dude. Okay, stop making it seem like this brand, thing is forever. No, it's not. Okay, that's number one. But see, this is the point I want to make. Before I kill this this debate. Roman and Drew, pound for pound, their individual talent surpasses that of The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. When you look at them, right? Okay, you just look at them. Their physical talent, right, surpasses that of both The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. So if we both agree there, right, that they can give us the best match of their life, right? The story is the only thing missing, right?
Exactly.
But hold on. No. Zip it, because this is where you lose. This is the checkmate. Okay, you might want to take out your pen for this. I'm serious. You might want to take out your notebook and pencil for this. but I'll go ahead anyway.
Yeah, okay.
You have the greatest storyteller in the history of the company in both their corners, Paul freaking Heyman. Checkmate.
Both corners.
Yep.
Paul Heyman's a big advocate of Drew McIntyre.
You don't think Paul Heyman is the showrunner in terms of what Roman gets involved with? You don't think if he's in a program with Drew McIntyre, you don't think Paul Heyman is the one that's controlling that? If you don't think Paul Heyman has all the say so in terms of who Roman gets involved with and how the rivalry, right, plays out, you're smoking something. Because that promo was fired only because Paul Heyman was there.
Paul Heyman is a huge advocate of Drew McIntyre, man.
But you guys say due to what Vince says so, and then you give me Paul Heyman. So
wait,
that's based on what you said. You said Vince,
but in terms of getting those two on the same show, that is the easiest shit in all of this. Okay,
you're forgetting we're talking about WWE here. They can give you the stupidest reason for why one switch brands to the next. First of all, Survivor Series,
you have the Royal Rumble, bro. You have the Royal Rumble, bro.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Like we can easily see McIntyre drop the title before the Rumble and end up winning it again.
If he wins the Rumble, I got it. I ain't saying nothing.
No. Hold on. But I'm saying, since you have a problem with both of them not being on the same show, that's your fix. That's your fix.
That's the only fix.
No, it's not. You can strike a trade. Listen. They trade superstars all the time.
Well, can you suspect Drew McIntyre going to SmackDown consistently or every so often? Yes or no?
If he was traded to the brand,
you can't say no. It's not if. Yes or no?
Ricardo.
If he's a Raw superstar, why would he be on SmackDown?
Ricardo. Hold up.
But I'm just saying. Okay, Kenny, go ahead.
Hold on though, guys. Y'all are forgetting something, and I'm so mad because you guys are quick to forget this, right? If the business dictates that Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns is best for business heading into WrestleMania, right? You'll get what you want. Okay? This ain't like this ain't.
They'll make it happen. They'll make it happen some way.
It's not a crazy thing to be like, oh man, wow, this brand, this brand split. The brand split is not a real thing. Maybe back then when Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin were fighting, yeah, maybe it was a real thing. But Ricardo, why the hell would you make an argument for the brand split when you know for damn sure it ain't what it used to be?
WWE does not give two shits about
they break that barrier so many times.
Because it's due to the fact that they need Drew McIntyre for Raw, and due to the fact he won't flip flop going brand to brand. That shows that it will show that like it won't be consistent on what he brings to the title. Now, like I said, if he wins the Rumble, y'all got it. You ain't getting debate from me.
But here's the thing: you don't even.
But you guys keep saying no. Keep saying if. I'm telling you what's happening now, right?
Okay, what's happening now? But they can easily change that trajectory into something else.
Hold up. Yeah. Let's talk about what's happening now.
Stop giving me look. Right now, Drew McIntyre is WWE champion. Right now, he's on Raw. Right now, they need Drew McIntyre for Raw. You look on SmackDown, they're not going to switch Roman Reigns to Raw, Drew McIntyre SmackDown so consistently ever so often, right? You're not going to see Roman Reigns on Raw anymore. Do you honestly think that Do you know? Question: do you think that Drew McIntyre will go back to SmackDown? Yes or no?
Yes.
If they really wanted to, they will do it.
When do you think that will happen?
It could happen, dude.
This is around WrestleMania time.
This is WWE we're talking about. If they really wanted to, they could do it after Survivor Series.
Playing into the fact. If for that to happen, he will have to win the Rumble, and that's a big.
He would have to lose. He would have to lose his title, right, before the Rumble, and win the Royal Rumble again. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, or hell, listen, guys, Roman can drop his title, win the Royal Rumble, and then go to Raw.
That nigga ain't dropping shit, and we all know that. That nigga ain't dropping nothing.
So see. let's talk. Yeah, because you want to talk about what's happening now. Okay, yeah, let's talk about what's happening now. Drew's on Raw, right? But he's facing a SmackDown superstar, and I don't want you to give me, oh no, it's Survivor Series. Who the fuck gives a shit? It's happening.
That's
the fact that
hold up.
No. I can't. But the fact that it's happening is what matters, and that's all that has to happen. All that has to happen is that those two are on the same brand at the same time, same show, WrestleMania, or wherever it may be. All that has to happen, right, is the stars align, and for that to happen, both guys have to be in the same place at the same time. You don't think that's gonna happen?
Okay. I'm not saying it won't. I'm not saying it won't happen. But you can't tell me. You can't bring up the argument like ignore Survivor Series. No, that's the only reason that this is happening. That's a fact. That's the only reason that happened. So let me ask you a question: if Survivor Series wasn't happening, would y'all be seeing this? Would we be having this discussion? Yes or no?
Hell yeah, we'll still be having the discussion because hold up.
No.
Because Triple H said this weeks ago. Weeks ago. Okay, this wasn't happening weeks ago.
No.
This wasn't happening weeks ago. Listen, Ricardo, what you're failing again to mention is the fact that both of them are more talented than The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No, nigga, I literally agreed with you that they're more talented.
Yes, right. Okay. So why can't you seem to figure this out? The two guys. Hold on. The two guys that are more talented than The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? Are going to surpass them one day.
The reason why I don't see it, I'm telling you now, the reason why I don't see it is based on what you just said and what you agreed with me earlier on my point, the storytelling, right? Because the match needs to happen.
They have the storytelling.
No, that's one promo.
Dude, but this is the foundation that they're building off of. This is essentially it right now. Austin and Rock, they didn't have that building the foundation thing from their first match.
Okay, that's where you're smoking something because they did. Okay, they did. Okay,
I'm not talking about their first WrestleMania match. I'm talking about their first actual match together.
Their first actual match, they did. When The Rock was in the Nation of Domination and when Stone Cold Steve Austin was by himself, there was a storyteller right there that these two headline made at WrestleMania one day. Vince, JR, and Paul Heyman said that. They all said that. So that's
hold up. Wrong. They said that. Hold up.
And it happened. It happened 3 times.
Yeah.
It happened 3 times.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, that may be true. But guess what? Like 20 years later or 15, 20 years later, you have two guys, right, that are better than them. What do you say? This has the potential. This has the potential to surpass that. That's what they're saying.
We're saying. Yep.
No. What I'm saying is, all I'm saying is that I need to see more other than one promo. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. That's
fine. That's fine.
That's valid.
Hold on. My guy.
Both you and Abba are saying this could happen if potentially he wins the Rumble. And that's the big assumption if he wins the Rumble and if Drew McIntyre were to drop the title. Because we damn sure knows Roman Reigns ain't dropping nothing for that title.
This is WWE we're talking about here. Their logic doesn't make sense almost any time. So they can easily mess this up for all we know.
Yes, we understand it's WWE we're talking about. My thing is the Roman Reigns would not drop the title unless The Rock comes back. That's the only thing that he's dropped for. Other than that,
you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Absolutely,
he ain't dropping the title to The Rock either. So what are you
exactly?
What I'm saying is he would, if The Rock were to come back, because like we all agreed for The Rock and Roman Reigns, there doesn't need to be a title for that. We all agreed there. So if Roman Reigns were to drop the title beforehand, then I'm like, okay, fine, go face The Rock, go ahead. But take out that. The Rock, Roman Reigns ain't dropping the title to nobody. Because that's what WWE needs right now for the Universal title.
I'm failing to reach your logic here. Roman Reigns doesn't need to ain't dropping the title to no one, but if Rock comes back, he's dropping the title to someone. So is he not gonna drop the title to anyone? Because you just said he's not gonna drop the title to anyone.
What I'm saying is Roman Reigns would not lose his Universal title, right? That's clear. That's number one. Number two, based on your points, you guys are assuming that Drew McIntyre will have to win the Royal Rumble, right? And I'm saying, in terms of right now, Roman Reigns ain't dropping the title to nobody. To no one.
I'm just interested in how you've came to the conclusion that Drew will never ever reach SmackDown consistently. I'm just flabbergasted by that.
No, I know.
Because hold up. Because Charlotte Flair did it when she went to NXT, won the women's title there, right?
Because she won
and
the
appeared
Rumble.
on Raw.
That's different.
And
she won the Rumble.
Listen.
That makes my point. Y'all are assuming off the Rumble.
No. That makes our point.
No, dude. That makes our point. Exactly. Because, dude,
right.
Listen to this. This company, do you realize the company we're talking about here? The bullshit that we see almost every week on our screens? Like, there are so many logic gaps within WWE programming that it is just unreal to even think about. Seriously, like they could easily, like they after Survivor Series, they have their first match, a taste of what is to come between this impending feud for real. McIntyre could easily come out on the following SmackDown episode and say, "Yeah, I want to join the SmackDown brand. I'm coming for your title."
Give me ifs.
Dude, it's all. But dude, it's such a
you bring up Charlotte.
For all we know. And then he could drop the WWE title afterward to somebody on Raw, and that's it. He's a mainstay on SmackDown.
Both of y'all, what's going on now and how it is. You use Charlotte Flair as an example. Charlotte Flair won the Royal Rumble.
You know why you lose? Hold up. No. See.
Hold up. The reason why she went to every show is because she was deciding due to the fact she won the Royal Rumble. Yes or no?
Yes, dude. She won the Rumble, and so she went to NXT.
Like I said, the only thing y'all would have it down to rights is if Drew McIntyre wins the Rumble, and that's a big if.
Dude, but
you're wrong.
If that's the case, then you're giving WWE way too much credit.
Look.
With how they're doing things.
If he wins the Rumble, I'm not debating.
Time out. Time the fuck out. Okay. Honestly, I don't know how the hell this conversation got this far off.
You brought it to Charlotte. You did.
No. You brought up the question: how the hell would they both of them appear on the same brand, right? And that has nothing to do with that. That's literally the smallest part of this equation. The biggest part of this equation is that they both, what Triple H said, they both have the potential, right, to be what Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock was to the business.
I love how we really got away from that main point.
Okay. And you got to understand something. Since you've admitted, right? Since you've admitted that they both surpass Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin
in the ring standpoint, yes.
Right. Individually, right, from the ring standpoint, right. The only thing they needed was the storytelling, and Paul Heyman can provide that, right. So, is he right in saying that they both have the potential to that feud, right? If they're both together, has the potential to surpass what Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock did? My answer is yes. You already have talent. And you already have Paul Heyman. There is nothing stopping you, right? Except for the point that you bring up. In they don't have to both have to be on the same show. They don't. For them to tell a story, a meaningful one. Look at them on Friday Night SmackDown. They told a meaningful story in what? 5 minutes? In 5 minutes, they got you invested and your face glued to the TV and watching Survivor Series because of those two. In 5 fucking minutes. Didn't even have to work for it.
I know I'm watching match Survivor Series.
Right. All they have to do, you watch Raw? No, you're not missing much. That's it.
All I literally said is that I need to see the match to happen or the storytelling to go on. I think we could all agree there. Yes or no? Right?
I don't need to see shit.
I'm not.
I don't need to see shit.
So you mean to tell
me?
You know why?
You know why?
I just want to see what no match.
Hold up. You know why? Because guess what? You've already admitted that they're better than The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the ring. I don't need to see nothing. I already believe in Paul Heyman. Listen. I already believe in Paul Heyman as a storyteller. I know he's not going to let me down, right?
So
Paul
you need to
Paul
tell
Heyman
me,
in terms of promos, the only person I'll put over Stone Cold Steve Austin is Paul Heyman in terms of promo. Okay.
Okay.
I already know he's better than The Rock in terms of promo. So you got the greatest promo talker in the history of the company, right? Mount Rushmore. Remember, we had that talk.
Yeah, we have Mount Rushmore. Yes.
Right. And then we have two guys that surpasses Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock in the ring. What does that equate to you? I don't get it.
I just don't get understand how you choose to ignore that. You literally just said, I don't need to see the match between Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. You literally just said that.
Because we know their capabilities. It's not like
here's the thing.
It's up in the air.
I don't need to see the match. Hold up. I don't need to see the match to make the conclusion
there you go.
This rivalry will be greater than what we've seen from Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. I don't need to see that match to know that.
So you need to tell me, based off one promo on SmackDown, you're saying it has the potential, without seeing any match, and how The Rock and Austin gave you 3 headline WrestleMania matches, right? One promo from Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns, you'd be like, oh, that could potentially be the next Rock and Austin without any matches.
Guess what, Ricardo? They don't need to have 3 WrestleMania headline matches
That's number 1.
To eclipse it at all. They don't. They could have just one for all we know.
Well, you're tripping.
But you know what? But hold on. I think we're missing the point here. See, Ricardo, remember last week or the week before when I said it's okay to admit what you see, right? What you see with your eyes, right? Especially if you have 20/20 vision like me. What you see with
I got 20/20 vision.
Okay, great. So you got perfect eyesight, man. Great.
Damn right.
What you see with your eyes, it's okay to admit, okay? Even though if there's not a big enough sample size, right? It's okay to admit greatness when you see it. It's okay to be like, okay, I've never seen this before. And I think that's what differentiates me and you. It's the fact that
I am not.
Hold up. The first interaction with The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ricardo, do you remember how it went?
Yes, it was fire. It was instant money.
Right. Exactly. This interaction with Stone Cold with Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns, you can say it was fire, but it was something different than that.
It was different. Yes.
Different. It wasn't. It got you shook. And it's a different type of feeling, and I don't care what it is, right? Stone Cold Steve Austin and Rock's interactions were always fire, but it never left you shook. It never left you feeling like, oh shit, whoa, my heart. Like it always lets you feeling happy, laughing, like it would always, but it didn't make you feel. I don't want to say scared, but it didn't shake your core, right?
It was anxious. The word you're looking for is anxious.
To make you feel like, oh shit, that promo made me feel some type of way, man, and I love it.
Again, I'm not knocking the promo.
I know, but see, that type of storytelling can only be achieved when you have somebody like Paul Heyman by your side. And and that's my point, and that's my only point in all of this, is that that's the missing piece. And when they found that missing piece, that was it. That was game over. Now I'm seeing this, right, 3-4 years from now, right? And you might not be quick because you're a Stone Cold Steve Austin mark, or some would call it, right?
Hey, nigga, whoa. Do not put me in quotation marks with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I've earned that, okay?
Fine. No. I'm just the mark is what I'm referring to. But anyway. But you're so when somebody that's that has a potential to surpass Stone Cold Steve Austin comes, right? You say you want to see more. That's fair.
That's all I'm saying.
But guess what? I'm objective. I'm more objective than you when it comes to this, okay? Because you have an invested, kind of an invested, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you're invested in what Stone Cold Steve Austin did throughout his career, right? So your objectivity might not be, up to par with me, right? Just as like if somebody else was to come and say, they have the potential to surpass Cena, I'd probably be in the same boat as you. I'd probably say, no, I need to see more. But you might probably say, nah, he's already there. All he just needs is this, and he has that. That's it. That's it, guys. That's it. In 3 to 4 years, he'll surpass Cena, right? But that's what I'm saying right now about the rivalry between The Rock. I'm sorry, about the rivalry between Drew McIntyre and Roman, in that we've seen enough from both of them to. Well, I think we've seen enough from both of them to be like, yo, listen, all they needed was Paul Heyman. And once they have Paul Heyman, that was it. It's over.
All I'm saying is this. It's like this. In terms of I'm talking about in a general standpoint. In terms of a rivalry, yes, the promo work was fire. And I'm not knocking the promo. I want to make that clear. The promo between Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns was money, right? But you can't, to finish the rivalry, I got to see the matches.
Okay,
right?
man. Like I said earlier, this is the foundation that they're building off of.
I did not interrupt y'all. Okay, I didn't say a word. Okay, all I'm saying is this.
That's not what I remember, but okay.
Well, last time I checked, it's me versus Kenny. Okay.
And me.
Anyway, you brought technically, Alba, you want to see the action between me and Kenny. That's what you said. Pause. But like, you want to see the debate. But anyway, what I'm saying is about in terms of Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns, I need to see the match. That's all I'm saying. I will never say that a rivalry is fire based off one promo, because I need to see more within the match. That's all I'm saying, right? In terms of what Kenny is saying, I agree with him, no question. In terms of an athletic standpoint, in terms of The Rock and Austin can't touch Reigns and Drew McIntyre from an athletic standpoint in the ring. I am not debating that, right? And the way Paul Heyman works in the ring, second to none. All I gotta see is the match or matches. Since
can I ask you a question?
This might be a potential rivalry on the likes of Rock and Austin. Yes. What's the question?
Can I ask you a question? Did you need to see Michaels versus Taker to know that they were going to be great?
Yes, because it happened already beforehand.
No.
Beforehand.
Right. But I'm talking about the first time you ever saw, right? Because you didn't know about their history before, right? But the first time you ever saw Michaels and Taker, right? Mm-hmm. Now, this is when they've already built up their credit, like when Taker and Michaels fought, right? They've already been established, like Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns.
Yes.
Right. They've both been established, right? So switch those two out. Take Taker and Michaels. When they both clashed, right?
Yeah.
And you knew that they were both great. Both of them were great, established. Did you need to see the match to make the inference that that rivalry would be great?
Yeah.
Based on the resume. Really?
Resume, okay, look, in terms of hold up. In terms of the resume alone, because you're talking about two bona fide legends, right? Talking about two bona fide legends in Shawn Michaels and Taker, right? A rivalry doesn't finish or doesn't start until the promo work and the match happens. Once the promo work and in terms of the rivalry in general, in terms of if you have the promo and the match, then we're going somewhere.
Ricardo.
But due to the fact that Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns hasn't fought yet,
Ricardo,
I can't say that is a legit rivalry until it happens. That's what I'm saying.
See, there's something you're missing here, man. And it's the fact that you got to go with your gut, man. It's all about your gut feeling. Like when we're talking about potential, right? We see what this could be, right? And you didn't need to, the truth is, you didn't need to see the actual match to make the inference that, oh shit, this is going to be a great rivalry between Taker and Shawn Michaels, because you knew what they were capable of. They had the resume. Their position was already solidified. Okay? To say, right, that you needed to see the match makes you a fucking noob. You're not a noob. Last I checked, you know your shit. Okay? So you mean to tell me that you, Ricardo, you probably know more in terms of this, the historical significance that wrestling, you know more than me because you've been watching wrestling for longer than me. You mean to tell me, straight up, a rivalry between Taker and Michaels, you needed the match to know, as a wrestling fan, for you to know for a fact that, okay, that rivalry is going to be fire. You telling me, you're telling
yes,
me,
because
like,
the match itself,
you know why?
Hold on, wait. Because you asked me a question, I'm answering it. Because when Shawn Michaels and Taker fought, due to that match, told the whole story. Yes or no? It told the whole story. Because this is Abba's favorite match we're talking about. Shawn Michaels and Taker, right? The match itself told the story in terms of the rivalry itself. All right? So I already knew they were great. I knew that. But the match at WrestleMania 25 solidified the storytelling that had to happen the next year. Right? So the storytelling that hasn't happened yet in the match between Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns, due to the fact that it hasn't happened yet, doesn't tell you a rivalry.
Let's just leave it at this.
Checkmate.
Let's just leave it at this.
Checkmate. You said, right? You said Moxley and Omega were going to be great before you even saw the damn match. So what's up?
I never said that. When did I say that? When did I say that?
You didn't say you were looking for. You didn't say it was going to be great because of the two competitors at hand. You didn't say that.
Wait. They fought before, way before. Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns didn't face each other yet.
Yes, they did. They had a match. They had a match.
They had a match at WrestleMania last year.
What are you talking about?
Out loud.
What? When Roman Reigns was in the Shield? We're talking about this Roman Reigns.
No.
Okay. Dude, you can't pull that now.
See,
you can't.
Right, you can't. They've already had a match, right? And look. Moxley, hold up. Moxley and Kenny Omega aren't the same Moxley and Kenny Omega today, right?
But that's what you brought up.
Hold up, right, exactly.
And Roman Reigns is different now than he was back then.
Exactly. So it's Drew McIntyre. So your point of where Moxley and Omega had faced before, well, that's a different one. But you still came to the same conclusion that it was going to be great. So for me, I think you're having you're withdrawing here, man. You're withdrawing on me. Okay, you're not consistent with what you're saying. Okay, yet you're willing to give it to Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley, but you're not willing to give it to Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre.
I'm giving it to Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega because they already have a story. They already face each other.
So is Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns.
But in terms of Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, you guys are going back to WrestleMania of last year. Last time I checked, and
there's no bigger event in wrestling.
Hold on, I get it where it was. But you admitted, and Abba admitted that when Roman Reigns became the tribal chief now, you said that this is the Roman Reigns that we're gonna remember for years to come. Right? Yes. We already know that he was getting pigeonholed by Vince due to the Shield gimmick for over 5 years. So technically, you and Abba doesn't even accept that Roman Reigns when he was in the Shield. But this one right here.
All right. Instead of letting this escalate any further in the conversation. Okay.
This right here is the one that we're all accepting. And the Drew McIntyre that is here right now is the one that we're accepting. And this one right here was solidified due to their match at Survivor Series. We'll see if it will become a rivalry or not. And that's my point.
See if it would become a rivalry or not. Listen, I'm sorry. Triple H already said that it would become a rivalry. So
no, he said it has
what
the
are you
potential.
talking
Technically,
about?
he didn't. He said it has the potential. He didn't say it is a rivalry. There's a difference.
Oh, if you're WWE, do you not think there'll be a rivalry?
I'm not WWE, but he said they have the potential.
Oh my God.
Having
Let's
the
go.
potential,
All right,
having
let's
the
go.
legit
All right,
rivalry.
all right.
Let's go. Let's go.
Ricardo, I'm gonna have
like,
to shut you out.
It really fucks with me because it seems like you don't know shit.
No.
You act
no,
like you don't know
no,
shit.
No. I need
All
to
right,
see the match before I say
Let's go.
instead of
Let's
letting
go,
this
man.
instead of
Let's
letting
go.
this
I gotta see the
escalate
match.
any further, Ricardo,
Let's go.
exactly. That's what I wanted to get off at.
Let's go.
Let's have you wait till you see the match this Sunday at Survivor Series. Then you
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
then we can come back to this conversation the next time we record after the event goes off. After
And
the
I don't
event
want to
is
hear
done
shit.
for.
I don't want to
And
hear
that's all I'm
shit
saying.
about. Hold up. I don't want to hear shit about how. Oh, guys, I watched it, and y'all are right. I don't want to hear none of that.
No. First of
I
all,
don't want to hear none of that. That same energy that you're keeping.
I
That
am
same
keeping the
energy
same
that you're
energy.
keeping. Keep that shit.
No, I
Okay?
am keeping that shit because it's.
Thank you.
I am keeping that shit because all I said, I need to see the match. That's all I said since
All right.
the start.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
Fair.
And there you go. We'll leave it at that for today. Thank you guys for listening through us on episode 15 of Wrestling Hypothesis Extra for this week. Hope you all enjoyed the show as usual. Be sure to follow us on Facebook or Instagram for any news updates on the show. And yeah, Survivor Series weekend coming up, and we'll see what transpires from the event as a whole and Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. So we'll see if Ricardo sings his tunes a little differently next week after that match is over.
You better
So,
not.
yeah. So we'll see you guys, all you listeners, for episode 45 of the podcast this upcoming Sunday, which, by the way, for the Survivor Series occasion, we have a good amount of discussions to get into regarding that event's history. So until then, take care, guys. Have a good one.
All right.
Later.